take a sip of my electrolytes. You know, if the topic, if you see the topic, you don't want to listen, you ain't gotta listen. All right, y'all, we're not forcing you to listen. Okay. If you see the topic and you know you don't want to listen, you ain't got to. All right. If you don't want to be subscribed, you ain't got to. You know what I'm saying? It's a suggestion. So we're talking about the foundational marriage. I gotta watch my back. We're talking about the true foundational marriage, not just so-called black Americans, you know. But that's what they call us. They call us black Americans, you know, but we're talking about the true foundation, the true American, which was termed, you know, in Webster's dictionary, the copper-colored race that was found, all right? You know, there's a lot of things that's been going on. Our family's been bickering. We have a family that's been bickering. I have to feel my spirits, you know, the thugs, they feel it, but Most High shining on us right now, so it's confirmation. We're great. Our family's been bickering, y'all. Our family's been bickering, you know. We've been going back and forth, you know, even the diaspora and the African so-called community. And that's what we do, you know. We all niggas, you know. We all, you know, original. We're native. We're natural beings. We're indigenous beings. We know niggas is indigenous to Africa. So I mean, we know Africa got a lot of niggas in it. So, and that's for sure. Or a lot of black folks. I'm gonna say it like that, or whatever you want to call it, Negroid people. Okay. They vibe like us. They're used to seeing a lot of black folks. As far as being in the Amaru in America, it's a little bit different. We're used to seeing black people who are on a different plateau, and it's always been that way, you know, in America. We always had a culture, you know, and our own identity in America. We didn't get that from no type of what you call colonizer or nothing like that. We didn't have no culture from the colonizer. We already had a culture. We already had our threads. We already had everything, you know what I'm saying, popping. So they seen that we was actually rich in what? Spirit, you know, inspiration, gifts, and talents. And so seeing our family bicker online, you know, we call them us tethers and stuff like that. You know, we got to separate, you know, get out of this whole color scheme thing, man. We're just arguing online. That's all we're doing, and won't be long. We're sifting all of this, the filter out. We're going through this refining process, and once we realize that, yeah, we've all been going through, you know, this cluster B personality toxic relationship with an entity or an elite entity that was meant to get us to go against one another. Hence, slave trade, we already know, happened on the side of the world where where America is at. You know, back and forth through the Caribbean. So we're already mixed up. We're already one people. They knew that we was all one people on that side of the world, basically, in America. All the adjoining islands. You know, why? Because we had a certain niche. We had a certain, you know, we dealt with medicines, herbs. We listened to our ancestors, and they're in the spirit. We weren't doing like hella spell work. Some of us did, you know, but to hurt and do it for selfish gains, and that's why punishment comes into play. But however, we were all one people. We have a certain bond, a certain love, you know, for one another. And for us to be bickering like this, it's the Most High's hand for sure. But it has to be a separation, because things was already popping in Harlem in the 1930s and even before then, with our own culture, with niggas performing, doing moonwalking and sliding and singing and dancing together, doing all kind of shit in threads, you know what I'm saying? And is honoring our ancestors with the feathers also, you know? This is why the North American nigga don't really hate the islanders at all. We want to come down there and we wanted to be a part, because that's where we was kept from. It's a subconscious thing that we couldn't be with our family down there, you know? And our family in the Caribbean dealt with white folks more so. Hey now, say I think it says Molin 7008. I hope I said it right. Hey, we wanted to, you know, build with our family down there, but we weren't really able to go to those islands successfully and bring our money and get land like that, you know, and be accepted. Like, we wanted to bring the American dollar down to Jamaica and get our cars and bring it back to the mainland and be balling and dealing with our Jamaican brothers. But it was some type of, you know, dividing thing going on with us. And this is why, like, yo, this is what's gonna come to an end, because we was already going through the Caribbean by ourselves together without the colonizers. We was already in the game, man. Now, our African brothers, they see our land and our waters and shit. Yeah, they want to come through, you know. But it's like it's a price you have to pay to come through. You must come up in knowledge, and that's where we sit at. It's not that we're the big I, little you. It was just reversed for the Africans to kind of think, because you hear this for a lot. They know that, you know, you hear that a lot of black folks say that, you know, man, the Africans come over and act like they just a little bit better than us. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, and we praise Africans like a motherfucker. You know, we love them. We damn near love them more than they love themselves. We don't even know. There's some niggas that know all the continents. I mean, know all the countries and everything, you know? But however, they don't know nothing about us, what we was exposed to. And right now, they're experiencing, like, what we was going through as, like, our family, like, up close, like the Islanders and the Northern niggas arguing, like, back and forth. Like, we're really different. You know, we're really neck and neck. We're mixed so close because we're all in the same tribe, basically. We're mixed up so close that we'll argue ourselves to death. Shit. We got the cluster B personality disorder traits, and that's what we're acknowledging. So once we see this, it's like, yo, we all into healing, we're all into love, but, you know, it's just one of us, you know, we was made separate. Everybody had their own little, like, Dominican Republic and Haiti, and everybody got their own little thing, you know what I'm saying? They had to come to America. When they came to America, when they're selling their dope, who was they selling the dope to? I mean, you know, niggas in America, our family, you know what I mean? When them dope came in, it hit ours. We ain't mad at shit, but I'm just saying we healing off of that now. But it hits our community, our mamas, our daddies, to the point where teenagers were selling dope to their own mamas and daddies. And that's horrible. In our way of thinking, we kind of know better, you know, but as far as like the individuals trying to make money back on their island, I understand. But you know, the sacrifice that had to happen on the land was getting introduced to the dope and the drugs. We was the main ones. We was the product, like the demographics and the shit. Like, yo, we're gonna market to these motherfuckers, and then boom, 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 this gonna happen. But we started to heal. We started to wake up. And we started to want to separate a little bit. Like, yo, man, you know, yeah, we in America, we are the same, but, you know, we're in America. And then we was turning on our own self, selling the dope, because we needed money also. Because we already was getting the shit end of the stick with all the talent. We already had a culture that was being siphoned by these people that came over to our land. And so we had to deal with shit. But now we're healing from it. So when you're dealing with a healing type of people, it's like, okay, we're separate. Okay, you ain't gonna yell at me like that now. You're gonna scream at me. You know, we're separating. We know that even everybody in the land, on the mainland, is separate. You can hear this difference in the accents from the South to the Midwest to the East to the West Coast. You can hear all the different accents. You know what I'm saying? And so we already know that, but we know we are one type people, and we know that we're very, you know, we was all one together. But they turned us against each other by battling and you know, having one of us, there go the sun too, having one of us, you know, benefit off of the other's hell. You know, the blood, the sweat, the tears, man. If you look at any of the protests that niggas was doing, very peaceful, man, back in the 60s. That's not too long ago. People benefited off of that, you know. But for us to be treated a certain way, that was sad, but we're gonna get past that. We're really one big family. And once you know and understand that, you know, once the jealousy and envy comes up out of it, you'll understand our position. As niggas, we want to put you on. We're really in the position that the white folks is in. Like, they in our position. You know what I'm saying? We the ones that's gonna put you on, that showcase your talent around the world for all the indigenous people around the world to see. It's our kingdom, and that's not like to say it in no, you know, big eye little you thing, but that's what it is. We the foundational Americans. We don't have. They put the color in the game because this is a scheme to get us off of our natural land. That's all it is, brother. So for us to separate like that, we know we're dealing with narcissism and cluster B personality disorder as a people, as a whole. It's the best thing for us to do, really. The best thing. And people get mad. Narcissists get mad when you break up with them. You know, because you've seen the light. You're like, oh, I'm not taking your narcissistic ways no more. And it's not that we hate you. And I ain't hear no foundational, what they say, Black American. I call us foundational American. We the copper colored race that was found in America by everybody else. It was already there chilling, got streets and all that shit. You know, the motherfuckers bit our inventions and shit and say that they did it. And that's when you hear that you see the wars with the Moors. Now, the Moors, then we don't know. These niggas is hidden, man. I'm not talking about your internet Moors and your NOIs and your Moorish science temples. I ain't talking about them niggas, man. Them niggas don't really know too much. I'm talking about the Moors that's sitting in the castle still, nigga. Them Moors that's in the castle still, them niggas ain't came out talking. The internet Moors, I ain't worried about them. They ain't saying shit. The niggas that's in the castle, the Prince Hakeem and them niggas that came over to America to marry into a bride, to get a woman from America. Like Prince Hakeem had to come to America to marry in so he can get a part of the lineage and shit. I'm talking to them niggas that we don't never see. Not the boule, the niggas that's the real Moors, man. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's sitting back using the puppets. They know and understand. Those are the ones that's kind of going against us, man. They're the ones that's mad about us coming together and uniting and separating and delineating. Got the word now. They're mad at that. And all the islands, that's us. All of us are together down there. We went there all the time. They just stopped our travel from going back and forth. Yucatan is right across the way from Mississippi. That's a holy water right there, man. They call it the Sea of Sociopan in the Owaspi. Basically, where Geechee, the father of the creation, came out of, hovered over those waters. And talking about that the first being came out of a mound, G. That's basically how they explain niggas, man, in America, not the Native American niggas. When they say Indians, they're talking about niggas, man. And so we was on the North American continent, right there, what they call continent, whatever, Turtle Island. That right there, 33rd parallel, all the whole parallels, see. It don't matter, but 33rd, I was born on the 33rd parallel, 32nd and 33rd. You know what I mean? I'm gonna look around, make sure one comes out here. Yeah, man. And so, you know, I already know that we're going through this cluster B personality disorder, hate, you know, this idolize and divide and discard. We can pinpoint, you know, the looking at the eye show speed going over to Africa and things of that nature. But his father already dropped jewels, and I'm like, yo, man, your mama this, that, and your mama, y'all native. You know, he said he got quiet, but he wanted to go visit, and he definitely kept that in the back of his head, asking what happened to the nose. You know what I'm saying on the Sphinx, and it just shows in different countries, even in Northern Africa. It's just like North America. Yeah, racist, nigga. You see how he got treated up there, but it's still cluster B personality, where you can idolize and divide and discard a person. Those three things are in order. Whether you can devalue a person first, and then idolize them, and then discard them. Or you can idolize them, devalue, and discard them. Like, you know, in Africa, they was idolizing them. They had a chance to see him up close. He's an American nigga, man. And he's traveling around the world dealing in equality and making people feel like himself. Making them feel like they're one of the nigga, man. So a nigga is one who reached the high Kundalini state and know how to control his inner dragon. That's a nigga. We the land of the niggas. Everybody in our world, even being the paradise that we in, we already had to master our Kundalini, G. We was born into that. We was connected to the Creator. All of us. Every last one of us. That's why we call niggas. Because you got the NAGA energy, which is the Kundalini, the dragon energy. And you tamed it. You know, that's why they got us out of whack right now. But we're getting back in through celibacy, which is repenting. This is a natural way. Just keep it really simple. Shit, you know what I mean? Real simple. And then, you know, eating the right way and nutrition and things of that nature. But yeah, we were separate. Now they got to see their big brother on the mainland as somebody. They got to see us as our own identity. And not only that, because we accept our own identity within different regions of the mainland, period. Like the South, the North, the Midwest, the North, East, West, and South, man. You know what I'm saying? We're all different. We all accept each other. you know, for our differences. That's why we like to travel on the mainland to go check out. Like, yo, I'm finna go down here in Atlanta and shit, check out. Oh, I'm finna go over here to Memphis, dog. You know what I'm saying? Them niggas is juking and shit. Ain't nobody else juking like that. This is Memphis. You wanna see what juking is? Go to Memphis. You know what I mean? You wanna hear what a song sound like in the land that is created from? Go to that land and you'll see how it feels when they create. Everybody respects it in that land, you know? So I noticed that you're going around the world, everybody just listen to our songs and do our shit. But it's different when you go to the land, you know? And we happen just to be connected just through the Creator, the great King. The Most High just showing that He's the great King of all of us right now. Yeah, we'll have a personal king, but right now, the Most High is the king. Like, without us even having to anoint a king. Like, right now, we don't see no king. Ain't no messiahs and shit running around and shit. You know, we all messiahs, basically. That's how Most High is anointing us. So, yeah, all that separatism, we're just letting mugs know, like, yo, man, who put in the work? That's all it is. Like, you got to acknowledge that niggas put in the work. Look at the history first. Look at the patents. Look at your ass motherfucking driving whips and using refrigerators and shit. You know what I'm saying? That's all because of the keep your life, making life easier for you. That's meaning that niggas added on to life. We don't know nobody else in the world that's adding on to life, to the convenience of life and the betterment of life itself. Then niggas. That means that niggas as a whole got a high spiritual grade on the earth plane, G. Most High is looking after them. Now, certain ones probably get picked, but you know what I'm saying, pick them around. But as a whole, everybody can see the specialness of niggas, man. Especially in America, you know? The creativity. So now it's just made for the brothers to see Big Bro in America. Like, yo, Big Bro, yeah, now y'all gotta see. It's like Big Bro's like standing up, you know, we tired of letting you run over us. We love you. Of course we're gonna sit down, let you get the seat. I'm gonna sleep on the floor. I'll let you get on the bed, nigga. You coming over to my house, nigga. Yeah, you get on the bed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna lay on the floor, G. That's how we do. That's how we do. But they don't understand. They think that we're being a punk for doing that. We did that for people, for everyone. And some people didn't even wasn't even appreciative of the fact that we let you sleep on the bed, G. That we use a guest in the house. You know what I mean? We know you're a guest. We're gonna treat you so good. It's not that we're slaves. People thought we the slave mentality and shit. No, we're naturally serving, B. When these people put us and made us prisoners of war in our land, because that's our land. They didn't bring us from nowhere, nigga. If they brought us from somewhere, there'd be some supernatural niggas over in Africa right now creating motherfucking refrigerators and shit still. You know what I mean? Still. They just not getting, certain tribes just not mastering pipe wetting over in Africa right now, G. I'm just like, you know, we was already in that shit, pipe wetting and digging and mining and shit. Just to let you know, man, they use us against each other, you know? But we was already doing it on our own. Nobody didn't have to make us go mine. We was like, shit, let's go mine. We was already doing this on our own. We're looking in the stars, already calculating this shit. We putting tattoos on key points on our body and shit, getting us in tune with our inner lights on our side of the world. We've been doing that all the way through the islands. We did it. Everybody had tats on our side of the world, G. So we knew what's up, man. We're all family, man. You know, we're just gonna have to see, you know, niggas for who we are by ourselves, without everybody. Because if they think that niggas is lazy, we didn't do shit, like, you got another thing coming, big dog. Another thing coming, big dog. And that's all we need. It's time to ourselves. And that's hard for a narcissist to let go. Because everybody had crafty counsel behind a nigga back, including our Caribbean brothers, man. And that's just how it was. You know? Our Caribbean brothers. When you take over an empire, they set a mug right in our empire, G. Not the Caribbean brothers, but I'm talking about, you know, the straw people. You know, they already knew that. When they said it, our Caribbean brothers, they took crafty counsel behind our back too. We ain't got no crafty counsel. We just like, man, these motherfuckers is everybody's against the nigga. We going to your stores, nigga. We gotta go to your stores. We spending money in your stores, man. We can't sit outside the front. We just a happy people, man. You know, we just a happy people. So when we began to be restricted, and they put in drugs and all this thing, this was all planned. We began to be restricted of expression of our own freedom. in America, on the mainland. So people came, our Caribbean brothers laughed at that when they came to America, because they had a sense of freedom and shit. They can walk outside and do things, you know what I'm saying? We weren't like that. You know, police was smart enough to know if a nigga was a Caribbean or not. They know if they attack a nigga that's Caribbean, they'll be violating international, you know, treaties and shit. They knew that. So when they say that, oh, it's a black American from size 5'4" to 6'5", they know already who they trying to go against, man, because they already call you black. But now, when they want to be called black, they don't want to be called black when it was convenient, when the police was getting the nigga. But now we want to be called black altogether. Like we're, you know, we want to get these benefits. And niggas ain't got benefits like that. We had to save a lot of money to come take a trip to the islands and shit. You know what I'm saying? And some of us don't want to go because we still don't feel as loved. We would love for you to come to our land and come to Mississippi, take some fish and go to the fish house, authentic fish house and shit, and go to see a 100-year-old muddy on a porch somewhere you ain't never seen. Old woman, touch your face. She 110. You might not know how old she is no more. She probably started telling her age when she was 70. She's still gonna walk down the street. That type of stuff, man. So yeah, nobody has never really lived in the country. Nobody's not. We would like to go. I love to go to the islands. I mean, of course, I got pros that went deep into the islands and stuff, and seen the villages and shit like that. But none of the brothers and sisters never came deep into ours. Never went deep into ours. Like, you know, going to Louisiana, going deep into the bayou, all that in Mississippi, Picayune, Mississippi. You know what I mean? With a country, you can smell the mud, you can smell the dirt, you can smell the flowers. See, you can smell the wind, man. We can show you that, how to be in tune. Y'all ain't got a chance to see us, man. They've been too busy getting mesmerized by the tourisms and shit. That's why we got a problem. That's where the problem lies at, man. The tourism and shit. You need to when you go to a place, you got to go through it to the hood. The good, the bad, and the ugly. It's just that niggas just happen to be transparent to the world. The so-called black American, or the true foundational American, is this transparent to the world. You see this transparency. You can see everything about it, everything you went through. The good, the bad, the ugly, even in self-sabotaging and self-hating ways by being exposed to gaslighting and projecting tactics of a narcissistic, sociopathic entity that he had to live right up under, man, for hundreds of years. And nobody would never understand that because they only see this dude from like a far distance and shit. Niggas up under this motherfucker all day, every day. So we have a whole different perspective, you know what I'm saying? And so people have a different perspective of us because they were already gaslighted and projected and told that niggas is mean and lazy and don't do shit, don't do nothing. Like we're not geniuses and shit. Like we're not happy, or learn how to cultivate our happiness. They already marketed to the world that and projected and gaslighted that say that niggas or black Americans or foundational Americans are lazy and criminals. They already said that, man. And so people take that on face value, like an 85% type shit. Deaf, dumb, and blind type of individual who don't even want to do the knowledge for themselves and see like, oh, niggas now ain't lazy. They did this, that, and the third. Let's look even deeper because these motherfuckers is really old. Oh, they're actually classified as the oldest people on earth, the Washita, which is basically niggas. You know what I'm saying? All niggas, man. You know what I'm saying? Classified as the oldest living people on earth, man. That's part of the CHOCTAW. Everybody's in there, man. So, yeah. What we doing as foundational Americans, we getting our shit together. We're going to do the Trail of Tears walk on our own. We getting together on our own. We're going to walk what our ancestors did. We ain't got to worry about nobody else. And I'm not hating on. This is why we separate, man. We got to get together at the mounds ourselves. We got to heal ourselves. All right, Doug, I hear you. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all, B. You know what I mean? So this is why, everybody got to get back into their culture so we can appreciate each other for our own inspiration that we get from the Most High. That's it. Ain't no hate involved. We want to see how swift you is and how well you're connected to the Most High. And we only can do that as if we're all, delineated for a moment, but we're all together. We're one nation, but we're, separate. And we have to show our separatism and our creativity. Nothing but that. And you gotta know that we have a lot of healing to do on our end. We're gonna arrange a whole little trail of tears, stroll ourselves. The same path, big dog. This is ritualistic for us. We're gonna hit the miles off, kill miles. If the northern natives don't want to come, then they don't have to come. We're gonna go. All the things that our ancestors have to go through, as far as like we're gonna honor these places. We're gonna sit, chill. Our ancestors are gonna bring us there. We got a lot to do in our land, you know what I mean? We got a lot to do in our healing. They ain't want to never leave us alone and shit. And it's not like a bad thing. You know, we're not talking hate, but we're healing, G. We're healing. And we're gonna do like I say, we hit the trail of tears on our own. We're gonna do our trail rides our own self. Trail rides, that's what we do. We get the horses out and we're gonna trail ride. With love. We're gonna be cooking, we have the food, we have the kids. How we do. Ain't no murder and killing and shit like that in the trail rides, man. We ain't living up in them big cities. We living in the country where our ancestors, man. We going to the country where it all started. The trail ride's gonna bring us together. See, to do that, we got to delineate, really. I got to say it like that. To do that, we do have to delineate. They'll come to our trail rides after they see, like, yo, man, this is what we do. We in tune with our animals, man. We got mugs living in the bayou right now that get alligators. We got a mug right now in Florida right now, you hood fishing, who can get a fish out the water like that. A lot of us. Y'all gotta see us for what we is, man. You know what I'm saying? And we ain't trying to show y'all nothing. We're just getting back in tune with ourselves. It's gonna be brothers that's gonna put together the walk of the Trail of Tears. I feel it. And we all gonna do it, Chief. Just like the march going to DC. But this march is gonna be put together from the ancestors. And we're gonna hit it too. From start to finish. It's a beautiful thing, man. Beautiful time, man. That's why healing has to happen from a narcissist, man. That's why it has to happen. You know? They gonna always hoover around, and I'm not talking bad on the people. I don't want to call them tethers all the way, but you know what I'm saying? But that's how some brothers is like that. They want to keep it like that, you know? But, you know, at the same time, we got to do ours. We're going to do ours. We got a lot of healing to do. We're going to acknowledge what happened to us. And that's the only way, man. It's like they don't want us to acknowledge what happened to us. And I know, because I had to heal my damn self. Come out and acknowledge what happened to me on my own individual life. And I'm like, yeah, they don't want you to know that. So as a whole, when we do it, I already know what we're going to do. We're going to definitely celibacy, heal, repent, because we can do that. We niggas. Niggas are the ones who got control of their dragon energy. Hence, we niggas. We don't want nobody else saying they niggas, because we know you ain't got control of your kundalini, G. You ain't no nigga. Once you get control of your kundalini, you got that crown chakra lit, you a nigga. Until then, they can say nigga, all that shit, but we know you ain't no nigga, because you a king when you do that. And we're going to show them right in front of their face, G. It's going to take a year. For the ones that's serious with, it's going to be a way of life. I'm doing the celibacy. I'm already in. You know what I'm saying? 7 years, going on 7 years, 6.5 years now. I already went through, and it's not big eye little you. Different time frames, whether it's 30 days or 60 days, or going back to 30 days, or getting up to 14 months, which is like over 400 days, or 12 months, or beating the one, or 29 months in a row. You know what I'm saying? The shit that you do the shit that you feel in 29 months in a row, the Most High get that information about you. When it's just like weak, something that's wicked, he'll get it about you without having no sex, without having a sexual desire. And that's when you really get in your spiritual shit. That's how we're able to download and get this message out. Cause that's what we're gonna do as a whole. Anybody talking spirituality now, they ain't doing this. They ain't talking. They just like that. They just blah 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 blah. Because this was gonna bring us together. The trail ride and all that. The celibacy, we have fun, sports, still popping champagne, herb, big tobacco flowing. That's what we've been doing. Horse riding, pace racing, all that. Not from Mississippi, man. We're gonna do all that. All this shit that they didn't want us to do. And we're gonna hit the spots. We're gonna hit the mounds. Deep though. We ain't using none of no CIA, none of them niggas that most I ain't gonna let none of that shit happen either. Cause you see what happening now. It's out and everybody outing it out. This nigga, Black Panther, CIA agent probably. This NFAC, this nigga probably would've. Like, nah, ain't that nigga, nah, we ain't playing no more, man. Most High got the babies up. The mama's up, everything's up here. And it says, yo, it's time for y'all niggas to link. That's it. So I ain't gonna hold y'all too much, man. I'm about to get a hop off in here, but we one nation, but we have to heal on our own. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, the islanders, they just viewed, the colonizer basically as tourists. You know, we were right up in that motherfucker. That nigga was in our house, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Niggas on our mounds and shit, disrespecting us. Y'all ain't know what the fuck was going on. Y'all think we just, because we make it look so easy, man. I know it, man. I already know. And most I give examples of this type of view through like athletes that we have that are like champions, like Michael Jordan or even the Mayweather. You know what I'm saying? Making shit look very easy, but these motherfuckers was already trained. I mean, our ancestors trained our genes, trained them for thousands of years as they're passing them down. That's why you can't dilute them motherfuckers. Yeah, you mate with a bro. Most I know you're gonna not mate, but you'll have sex with a bro. Most I know you're gonna do that. That's why, but he'll make it be where you, if you're too strong, you may not even be able to pass that seed along, because it's like, yo, you're gonna make them infertile for you. But it's like, don't pass that seed along, G. That's all. You know what I mean? Shit. You know, you're gonna be responsible 6 generations or more, depending on how hard-headed these motherfuckers is, for your spirit to be able, looking after your family, like, oh man, that motherfucker crazy. But you keep with your seed, because that's how our ancestors who already graduated up the earth plane is talking to us now. They true Ethereans. We can't just be throwing the word around, etheric and all that. These niggas, the Ethereans are the niggas who graduated off the earth plane. They already traveled to different worlds and shit, figured out shit. Now they coming back, giving us inspiration on what we got to do now without interfering with our free will. And this is what we have to do to repent. It's just, you know, celibacy, semen retention, get that inner light. As men, we'll bring world peace by doing this shit, because we ain't gonna want to fight. Men is reasonable, man. We're very reasonable. If we're low in our light, we can be influenced by another motherfucker, by a woman or something, or somebody who's in low vibratorial, sexual gratification or energy and shit. We can be influenced because we be low in our light. But once we high up on our light and become niggas, you can't. It's hard to. We bring in the golden age at that point. Man. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with you then, because we niggas. We them niggas. All right, I love y'all. I'll be with you in the next one. I got y'all, man.